you respect that.
I'm a journalist. This is newsworthy, and I'm going to stand here and I'm going to record who's going in and out of there and what conflicts of interest are created by this club disclosed by the judges you guys appear before.
This is Susan Bassey, and these are private attorneys at a club with a bunch of judges and government attorneys. And this is James Gibbons Shapiro. He's a prosecutor in Santa Clara County. And this is a video about the relationship between judges, lawyers, and journalists and why it matters.
My name is Susan Bassey, and I'm an investigative reporter. And I do want to say that one thing that seems to be missing in this whole discussion is what reporters are doing on this, because I am an expert in public records. I work collaboratively with all the major news agencies. I've worked on SB 1421 to address the police misconduct issues in our criminal justice system. And I have expertise and training, and probably our team is the only one in the whole state that works on family court issues. Mr. Gibbons Shapiro at the beginning said that when a domestic violence case enters the criminal justice system, the only way it enters is 911 call. That's absolutely misinformation, and going off that kind of misinformation is what is going to perpetuate some of the inadequacies in our system. Family court is where people go to address domestic violence issues, and it's handled very poorly. And it is also an incentive in a custody or a family law case for one person to claim domestic violence because there's a financial connection to being able to successfully claim and Family Code Section 3044, which allows you to have to pay support.
In California, when somebody makes a real or false allegation of domestic violence, it makes divorce lawyers a great deal of money. This is Jessica Huey. She made one such allegation in her own divorce case where she was represented by divorce attorney Nicole Ford. Jessica Huey and Nicole Ford are frequently appointed or given employment by judges to represent children whose parents are in a divorce case where there are allegations of domestic violence. But we find that these allegations rarely result in meaningful protection for people who really need it, and for people who are falsely making these claims, they are often highly rewarded, even by the district attorney's office, with prosecutors such as James Gibbons Shapiro, who often prosecutes the false and the mundane claims and ignores the real ones.
So that's a major misconception, and there is absolutely zero communication between the criminal justice system, even here in Santa Clara County, and the family courts. And the best case to give that as an example of would be the case of Kathey Fyke. She was in a family law case divorcing a lawyer, and she has a 41-volume family court file. I have read that entire file. She was criminally prosecuted for forging a proof of service and for taking $1 out of a bank account that was based on an order of a private judge who never properly retained jurisdiction. She was prosecuted by the Santa Clara County District Attorney for 2 years for these crimes, and then it was just blanketly dismissed. It ruined her life, and nobody ever investigated the issues going on in her family court case and the fact that she was unsuccessful as a self-represented litigant in addressing domestic violence. She didn't make a phone call.
How are you?
Good. I'm Michael Goffman. I'm the law school dean.
Nice to meet
you.
I'm Susan Bassey. I'm an investigative reporter.
Right, good to see you. Thanks
I
for
think
being
I've
here.
emailed you.
You have? Yeah.
You didn't email me back.
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I apologize. Yeah.
This is causing a lot of conflicts of interest that are concerning, so I'm reporting on that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks for being here.
But thanks for introducing yourself.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right.
The worst cases that we ever investigate involving family court and domestic violence involve attorneys. Attorneys who don't want to pay their former spouse half of their share of community property, who don't want their spouse digging in the books and records of their law firms, and who want issues related to domestic violence and unfavorable characteristics about the attorney covered up by the family court case. And so they turn the legal system against their former spouse, as Richard Falcone did to Kathey Fyke. Richard Falcone was friends with all the judges in the area. He went to clubs and he taught at Santa Clara University with them. They all went to school and they all went to these clubs together, and Kathey Fyke only came occasionally to dinners. So when they ended up in family court, the attorney was friends with all the judges who were ruling in the case, and Kathey Fyke lost custody of her 14-year-old child, was declared to be a vexatious litigant, was sanctioned $900,000, and when their Saratoga home that was next door to some judges was sold off, and she tried to prove that her husband would take money from that account in violation of court orders and get away with it, she took $1 and returned $1 and later was prosecuted for that by the district attorney. District attorneys who are too willing to protect lawyers even when they're involved in their own personal divorce case.
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good.
You guys aren't on the back patio having fun.
Are you filming right now?
Yes, I am.
I would request you don't film me, please.
We're in public, and this is an event that has been paid for with some taxpayer dollars. Jay Borski actually gets approval from Jeff Rosen to pay his membership fees for Enzo Court. And so the public has paid for a portion of this dinner, and the Chief Justice of the California Supreme Court is scheduled to be here, and that's a matter of public interest. So your request isn't going to be granted.
I just ask that you respect that.
I'm a journalist. This is newsworthy, and I'm going to stand here and I'm going to record who's going in and out of there and what conflicts of interest are created by this club that are never disclosed by the judges you guys appear before.
I'd request the same thing. So what newspaper is it that you work for?
The Davis Vanguard. Hi, Judge Zucker. How are you? I'm great. How are you? Nice to see you.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. What's the what?
The Davis Vanguard.
What is the Davis Vanguard?
The Davis Vanguard is an online news publication where we reported for an entire year on the Bar Bench Media Police Committee. And now we're going to report on Enzo Court.
Never heard of it. That's interesting.
Well,
What's the matter? Just journalistic record then. What's your name again?
my name is Susan Bassey. I just introduced myself to the dean of the school, the Chief Justice.
I'm a private citizen and you're videotaping me.
You're not a private citizen if you're a member of Enzo Court, Jonathan.
I'm still a private citizen, official.
Okay, but you're at a
Please, your
public
name, though?
event. My name is Susan Bassey.
How do you spell that?
Bassi. What is your name?
Susan. You already know it. Jonathan.
Jonathan, what's your last name?
I'm a private citizen. You can.
Are you an attorney?
I am an attorney.
Then you're an officer of the court, not a private
In
citizen.
this capacity. But please, I would respect if you could respectfully not videotape me.
I heard you. The Chief Justice of the Justice of the Court of Appeal knows that I'm recording, and she's on video, and we've already posted some of that video, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Where do you post it to?
I have a lot of platforms.
Like,
You can Google me, Susan Bassey. LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. You're attending an event with the California Supreme Court Justice making a presentation, and public money has gone to fund this event. And these conflicts of interest that are created by this social, professional, and mentoring club are not being disclosed by judges. And that is a matter of public interest. How many of these judges that you are in memberships do you appear before? Do you know that judges have an obligation to disclose their social, personal, and financial relationships? You don't know that?
do I need to answer that?
You're asking me a lot of questions. I'm asking them back.
You refuse
You
to
can
answer a
ask
lot of them? Yeah.
Okay, feel free to answer.
I'll answer any question. What did I refuse to answer? I told you where I'm going to post this video.
Honestly, I have no interest in getting in an argument with you. I'm
Okay.
just trying to, enjoy the day and asking you your name, and that was the extent of my questioning. You represent yourself as a journalist, and I just want to know what journalistic publication you are.
Okay.
Those were the questions I had.
I'm a freelancer, and I write for the Davis Vanguard, and I post on social media, and I collaborate with other media.
Appreciate that.
I'm a member of investigative reporters and editors. We investigate judges, the courts, police, and a number of other issues, and we report on it.
Who's we?
The journalists and my associates. Like your associates, we have similar organizations. Only we don't have an obligation to disclose those. But I do. You want to ask me anything, go ahead, I'll answer it.
Well, yeah, when you said we, to who were you referring?
My associates in
By your associates, you just mean journalism?
Yeah,
Journalists
in general, right. The only business protected by the First Amendment. In fact, protected over attorneys. You're in some of my videos with, you're from Hoag Fenton. Yeah, so you were also in the Bar Bench Media Police Committee because I saw your name in that. We reported on that for an entire year. You might Google Davis Vanguard. Judge Towery was co-chair of that, never made his disclosures at all. You guys literally made Mercury reporters members of that committee. You used taxpayer money from the jury pool, and they met 8 times or 10 times a year for 3 hours each time, where you guys all express your views, opinions, and ideas with... Hi, Justice Greenwood, how are you?
I'm sorry, were you castigating me for some reason?
I think your firm... I actually just pulled some loans from your firm on the Los Gatos Party Mom's house. That was pretty interesting. I didn't know that Hogue Fenton was giving out loans on properties. Thought you were a law firm.
So you misunderstand what occurred.
Oh, I don't think so. I have the documents. So we let them speak for themselves.
Cool.
You don't need to look me up. I've emailed the dean. I've emailed the chief justice. I've emailed all the judges.
Beautiful day, and we're
That's
having an
good.
event. We're going to have to close the door here in a second and go eat dinner.
Yeah, good. I hope you have fun. I've already filmed the whole room. I don't need to get any more photos after you're all inside, neatly tucked in.
Sounds good. Okay.
So that was not brought forward, even though he is one of your panel discussion
Thank you.
speakers.
Any response to that?
This is James Gibbon Shapiro. He's one of the highest ranking prosecutors in the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office, making nearly $500,000 a year to do his job. He also sits on the Domestic Violence Council with Nicole Ford, and there he is fully aware of the failures in family court in dealing with real domestic violence claims that are often ignored by the District Attorney's Office, who will take false domestic violence claims in order to help benefit divorce attorneys.
We have to start holding prosecutors accountable, and we also have to start allowing the media to do their job and not blacklist and secret them and retaliate against them when they try to do their job.
Response to that?
I think it's important for everyone in this room to fact check everything that's said by any panelist or anyone in the audience. And I'll also just note, as a historical note, that Jeff Rosen, the elected DA of Santa Clara County, opposed the recall of Judge Burst.
So you respect that.
I'm a journalist. This is newsworthy, and I'm going to stand here and I'm going to record who's going in and out of there and what conflicts of interest are created by this club that are never disclosed by the judges you guys appear before.